Hey guys, thanks for watching. My dad's had a Kia Sedona since 2002 and it's been a great van. He's recently run into a problem with the driver door in that it won't unlock. So obviously that's a problem. The door won't open, so he has to slide out the passenger side. Not a fun thing to do. So we can see that the unlocking motor is working. The little tab there moves back and forth, but does not unlock the door. You can't do it with the electrics. You can't do it with the manual. So there's something wrong with the locking mechanism. So anyways, to get this door apart, you're going to have to remove 4 bolts. And the hardest one is going to be this one down in the lower right-hand corner there. You're going to have to move that driver's seat all the way forward so you can fit a short, stubby screwdriver in there to get that screw out. But once you do, it's pretty easy to pull this panel off of the metal door. Now, what you're going to notice is there's a few connectors, plastic connectors holding that door on up in this area. There's not much you can do about it because the door you can't open the door. So anyways, pull the plastic away from the metal and then kind of rotate that door up so that you can get the lip of the plastics off of the metal and then pull that door away. Now there's lights down here, so there's electrical connections there, and of course you've got your handles electrical connections as well, so you need to take care of those and disconnect those as well. Once you've got that off, you can move on with the repair. So the other thing I forgot to mention is there's a little black piece up here in the upper left-hand corner that you're going to have to unsnap. It just snaps right into place. There's really no screws that hold that in. No big deal. All right, so it's a little hard to see from these pictures, but as you can see, we found the screw in the bottom of the door, and it was broken. You can see the broken piece right there. So looking down in the passenger side door, we could see that there is a spring connected to the lock assembly that is not connected to the lock assembly on the driver's side. So that tells us, is probably just that spring that needs to be replaced, and that's kind of what we did to fix this problem. So moving along here, you're going to have to pull that lock out. To do that, there's a few things you've got to do. You've got to unsnap or loosen up these retaining plastic pieces that hold the rods in. There's a couple of rods that you'll have to take out. There's a rod going up this way, and it connects to the exterior door handle. You're going to want to take it off at the exterior door handle, not down here. It's a little too difficult to do that. Over here you see the mechanism also that goes to the interior door handle. That is something you're going to detach up by the interior door handle. The next thing you'll want to do is take the bolt out of the window slide. The window just slides in this channel right here, and you're going to have to move that out of the way. Not a real big deal, as long as you get the right wrench size. All right, so when we take a look at once we get the lock out and take a look at it, you kind of get it on the bench. There's a lever that runs this way, and that spring just attaches right here. All right, so it's a little hard to tell. This is a kind of an extreme close-up, but that spring then drops down into this cavity down here. That's a little hard to tell from this picture, but there's another piece that looks very similar to this that the other end of the spring will attach to. So once that spring is installed, this lever is then forced to stay down in that position. So hopefully you can kind of tell what we're talking about from the picture here. A little tough to tell. So once you've achieved that, replacing that spring, basically you reverse everything you've taken out. There's some electrical connections down in the door down here, and then you have to reinstall the 4 cables. Now, one cable that you couldn't see before is this one right here. That one actually goes up to this fitting right here and attaches to the handle right here. So that cable there is something that you don't detach at the lock assembly. You detach it up here rather than at the lock assembly. So just keep that in mind. The bars that go into the lock assembly detach at the lock assembly itself. So this is not a difficult fix, but it does take a little bit of time because you got to take the door, get the door open, and get the lock out and all that fun stuff. There are 3 bolts in the back inside the door jamb to remove. Once you've got the lock fixed, then you just button it back up. Before you put the plastics back on, make sure that everything's working properly. Shut the door and make sure that all the cables are routed correctly and everything is operating properly. And then you can put the plastics back on. And that was really it. Pretty simple fix. Didn't cost us any money. We happened to have a spring left over, and that was it. Thanks for watching. And if this was helpful, give me a thumbs up.